Wasn't too bad. It's the second page is where all the tricks are. I play the first page and I feel pretty good about it, and then the second page, not so much. But I think that works for first playthrough. And now I'm going to start with the metronome. I think I stayed pretty close to my tempo. I don't think I rushed too badly. I probably did by the end, but I think for the first page or so, I was doing okay sticking to this tempo. Then when I got into the harder stuff, I tried to rush through it just a little bit. So I'm just going to start it with the metronome. No funky rhythmic displacement patterns today like I did last time. I'm just going to keep it strict. Oh, I messed that up. But you know, actually I'm doing things out of order. I need to mark my dynamics in. So this one earlier, I knew I was missing that piano. I'm interpreting it as a subito piano, so I want to give myself a little bit of crescendo right before. And where does this crescendo go? We have this long crescendo starting in the beginning of the third line, but there's no, so it doesn't actually go anywhere. There's just crescendo starting immediately after that piano I'm interpreting as a subito piano. So I think the peak of the phrase is right here when we go up to the high G, but I don't think this is a subito peak. Oh, do I change my mind about the other one? I feel like I want this to, I don't know, I kind of like the idea of it kind of like ebbing and flowing and getting constantly, well, not constantly, but like we keep going back and forth between forte and piano, but it's not like, maybe I don't like the subito change in the beginning. Maybe I will change that. So maybe I will decrescendo a little bit. I'll try it this way and I can change it if I don't like it. So with the metronome. Move that over. I didn't do any decrescendo though. I did a little bit, but not enough like to really make it from forte to piano. I'll do it over. get much louder there. I don't think it should be like, because this is a long crescendo, so I'm thinking like I'm changing from mezzo forte to mezzo piano there. And so maybe like here-ish I'm mezzo forte. There's something else I thought about, but I don't remember what it was, so I'm just going to play it again. All right, so I want to mark a couple things there. I wanted to mark some fingerings. That's what it was. There are a couple places where I'm cheating the right hand, left hand situation, like for the E flat and the C. I'm going to play it from the beginning one more time, and I'm going to stop anytime I find one of those I need to mark, either because I'm cheating it and sliding around instead of using like a clean alternating of the pinkies, because I think I've been cheating them and not necessarily paying close attention. So through there, just here, I need to make sure I do left hand there, and then right hand on that E flat. The breaths are making me rush. I'm rushing coming out of them. It won't be a problem when I'm not playing it with the metronome, but even though I'm sneaking them in around the metronome right now, I don't want to start rushing. So I think I'm going to use the left hand pinky starting here for that C, because it'll just make it easier going to that E flat. That one I do think is a subito piano. Maybe the others I want to be more gradual, but that one I think should be subito piano. I didn't mark as many of the hand changes as I thought I would. So either I happened into the right answer or there aren't as many as I thought. I think it's probably the first one. So I want to go ahead and start speeding it up a little bit. So let's try, this might be too big of a jump, but let's try 80 clicks instead of 70. I messed it up. I panicked a little bit because I forgot to turn my page and messed it up. I'm gonna go back to second to last line before the end of the page. I'm going to go back and do that over. This is the chunk I'm worried about. First page, not really a problem. I don't really feel that worried about it. But this like top half of the second page is the most difficult chunk. The first like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or so lines. Oh, I rushed right through that. I'm going to circle. I'm going to put like a tenuto over that quarter note just to remind myself that it's nice and long. And remind myself to take a nice big breath there. So I wanted to plan some breaths because breathing after like the ends of the slurs, which in this piece I feel like are very much like the in like phrase markings. Like it is a legato articulation marking. It's indicating that they should be slurred, but it's also a phrase marking. So I want all my breaths to actually come when those slurs end, but I can't quite plan them out this far under tempo, so I'm going to hold off, but I'm trying to take note of where like the best places are. And I think anytime we do like a dramatic tempo change, not tempo change, anytime we do a dramatic dynamic change, that's a moment for a breath, like when we arrive at a new dynamic. But I will have to sneak some in some of like the transitional moments as well. I just don't know where all of them are yet. But I know those three. Let's try, maybe not quite ready for 10 clicks faster. Let's do 5. So this is quarter note equals 85. I think there should be 1 too. I just didn't prepare for it well. I think there is a good place for one as well. in there. I think there should be, it's not my favorite place, but I think I will want the breath there to prepare for the high G I'm heading towards in the next measure. I might want to take it there instead. I'm not sure. That's how I needed the breath sooner. So maybe after the C instead. I would like to wait and breathe here, but I don't think I could have made it that time. But let me try that again. Actually, I think it would be better if I could wait until right here, because it's that dynamic change. I have to be able to make it that long, and I don't know if I can. I messed up my fingers a little bit and I had to sneak an extra breath, but I think that could work okay. If it took a really, really quick one there and then took a real one at the piano. And I need to make sure I remember that A flat, because I had A flat in the first bar of that line, but for some reason, I feel like I want to make that an A natural. I haven't done it yet, I don't think, but there's that moment of doubt in my mind, so I want to make sure I marked it. I don't know why I didn't mark the pinky changes through here the last time, but I should. So let's see. I'm doing left hand D flat here, right hand E flat, left hand D flat, and then left hand C, and then left, right, left, right. And the same thing there. So right, left, right, left, right. There was one spot I thought I was for sure going to use the right hand E flat in this one. Maybe I'm confusing it with the next study, or I found a way around it. I don't know. Almost had that, but that was a little sloppy. Maybe the last few lines again. Let me mark that in. Left hand C, right hand E flat. That's a D natural. I just had the accidental on the beat before, but it didn't stick, so I'm going to write it in again. I'm still a little bit worried about that third line from the end, but that was okay. I just feel a little bit unsteady, I guess. I feel like I'm going to miss it. Let's try 5 clicks faster, so 90. I think 100 might be too ambitious for today, so 90 should be good. I messed up that fingering. I actually like that spot for a breath if I need it. Close-ish. The ending's a little tricky. I'm gonna start trying it without the metronome because I want to practice the breaths and make sure that they're not like super jarring. I think I can safely manipulate the time just a little bit to facilitate the breaths and hopefully make them sound a bit more musical, but I don't want to change it too much. Let me just hear the tempo again for a second. I want to mark something in there because I feel like I keep messing up in that spot, but I don't really know what to tell myself to make it better. Maybe if I have a decision on those fingerings, but I thought I was doing it correctly. Maybe it's the jump here from the F to the A flat that's throwing me off. I think it was just the breath. I think I just messed up the breath. The rest is fine. that spot I mess up like every time. I don't know what it is. It's a weird transition, but I don't know what specifically is throwing me off. I think it's that. It's the E flat major third skip up to the G, but then also the perfect fourth back down to the D. I'm messing that up. That's a little bit better. I want to try that page turn transition again. It's getting closer, but I'm still like messing it up the first time each time, and I would like to make that transition happen smoothly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that C on the left hand as well, so that I'm prepared for this right hand E flat there. Also an A flat. After all those, I'm messing up everything. After all those A naturals, for some reason, it's taking me a long time to settle back into having the A flats. For some reason, I want to make that a step, but it's not. Or I want to make it a skip, an A flat to the C, but it's not. It's just A flat to B flat. I think the ending was a little bit better, even though I did restart that one spot. So I think what I want to do, because this one, there's just not a whole lot like to really work on. I feel like it's already pretty, it's not perfect by any means, but this one isn't as hard as number 24, for me anyway. And that's the great thing about studies like this is the difficulty is not universal all the time. Like sometimes it is. There's some things that are just like difficult on our instrument, but each player is a little bit different. I mean, that's just true for like any instrument, right? But there are some things that I find difficult that you might not, and there's some things that I don't find difficult that somebody else might, which is, it's interesting how we all approach it so differently. But it's also why I always try to be, and I'm not always successful, but I always try to be very careful about not showing surprise too much when somebody, like if I'm talking to another clarinetist and they are expressing that they find something difficult that I don't find difficult. If they're asking for help, I try to think about like how I do it and communicate to them and maybe it'll help them out. It's one of those things like I feel like you're best at teaching something if it was difficult for you to figure it out, because then you can remember and like recall the method you used, like to sort it out. And if it came naturally, it's kind of hard to break that down and express it to another person. I was never great at math in school. I mean, like I could do well and get the grade I needed, but I always had to like work at it. You know, I always had to like really focus. And my favorite math teachers and the ones I felt like I learned the most from and that they helped me kind of get over some of those, I guess, mental barriers that I was having understanding and absorbing the material were the teachers who had been bad at math in school themselves. So they had to really learn how to do it, and then they could communicate that because they remembered the process of figuring that out.